We have been telling you about Mark Zuckerberg facing some of his toughest critics on Capitol Hill last week, including our next guest, who claims the Facebook CEO admitted to conservative bias in one instance. Now he's urging the social media giant to break up and sell a couple of their important parts, Instagram and WhatsApp. Republican Senator from Missouri, Josh Hawley, joins us now with more of that closed-door meeting. Senator, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So Mark Zuckerberg said, so what can I do? And you said, sell off Instagram and WhatsApp. And he said what?
He said, quote, I don't even know how to respond to that. And I said, just say yes. I mean, my point is, Steve, if they're serious about privacy and if they're serious about competition, if Facebook's serious about bias, don't just talk about it. I mean, Facebook always apologizes when they get caught doing things like censoring conservatives, which they just did to a pro-life group. And then they say, oh, we're sorry. And I say, prove that you're going to be different. So quit harvesting people's data, sell off these companies that you're using to create a monopoly, and do a third-party audit. Submit to an independent third-party audit to prove that you're not biased against conservatives.
And in fact, I understand that Zuckerberg said that a fact checker acted in a biased way when they were working on one of the things you were interested in. Explain that conversation.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, about 2 weeks ago, Facebook censored a pro-life group on their platform, and Zuckerberg admitted to me that they were wrong to do so. He said that was an instance of bias. And he said that they struggle. Facebook has struggled with bias. Those are his words, Steve. Struggled with bias for years now, which is obvious. Everybody knows that. But it was a huge admission because Facebook has said, oh, no, we don't have a bias problem. But Zuckerberg himself told me, yes, we do. So I said, if you're serious about fixing it, submit to an independent audit to see how you're actually treating conservative groups. But he said no.
Because if you feel like if there was an independent third-party audit, they would find what?
Oh, they would find that Facebook is, I think, pretty systematically discriminating against conservatives and trying to shut down conservative speech. I mean, my view, Steve, is this. Facebook gets a huge subsidy from the federal government. They shouldn't be using that subsidy, that special deal that they get, in order to discriminate and censor against conservatives. I just want them to be neutral. Just be pro-speech. Just let free speech actually be the norm on their platform. Quit discriminating.
And what you're talking about is you're talking about Section 230, which gives them immunity. They can't be sued for libel because they say, yeah, look, we're not like the New York Times. But,
yeah, exactly.
But they are, aren't they?
They're making editorial decisions very much like a traditional publisher. Again, everybody knows that. But here's the thing, Steve, that immunity is worth billions of dollars to Facebook and to Google. It's a special deal from government. They shouldn't be getting it if they're going to censor.
Well, then why don't you do something about it?
You know, good question. That's why I've introduced legislation that would take away that special immunity if Facebook can't pass an independent third-party audit. I mean, look, they're a private company. If they want to be liberal, they're welcome to be liberal, but they shouldn't be getting government subsidies in order to do it.
How much support would you have on Capitol Hill?
Well, you know, Senator Cruz now has said he thinks Section 230 should be revisited. There's others on the other side of the aisle, actually, Democrats who said, yeah, I think maybe it's time to revisit Section 230. Lindsey Graham has said, I think maybe it's time to revisit 230. So I think the coalition is growing.
All right, let's see what happens. Senator, thank you very much for joining us on this Tuesday.
Thanks for having me.